Hey, welcome. I'm really glad you're here. And you are in the right place if you've built something real, something meaningful, and you're ready for it to feel easier. And I'm not saying that you're lazy if you want it to feel easier. I'm saying that you're probably done spending your brilliance on things that aren't really in your unique zone of genius. So today, I want to talk about something that goes way deeper than just AI automation, tacking AI tools onto your business. This is about creating space. It's about creating mental, emotional, like energetic space so that you can run your business and you can serve your clients with a lot more clarity, with a lot more ease, and a lot more alignment. And that feels so much better and so much easier. I know what it feels like to juggle all the things that we have to do as business owners. I know because I've done it. I built my own business to seven figures with a team in my past life, and now I'm doing it differently because guess what? It's not 2020 anymore. Things have changed. So whether you're feeling burnt out or maybe you're just maxed out on all the mental tabs, so much of what you do, your own brilliance, is typically tied up in making a whole bunch of little mini decisions, doing tasks that are done over and over again, and processes that actually don't require you. So there's a smarter way to do this. But the gap between where you are now and really getting a sense of what's possible, that's what I want to close today. That's the gap I want to close today. So my name is Gabrielle. I am the founder of AI Coach Box. And what I'm about to show you is a whole lot more than just productivity hack or, a bunch of AI prompts. It's really about a shift in how you think, how you decide, and how you lead as a leader in the coaching industry. Because I'm not running a complex team or massive operations anymore. So right now, I'm a solo founder, and I'm running it with an AI team that knows my business, works anytime, and I don't even have to pay them. And yes, at some point, I probably will have a few key team members, but even when I do, they're going to be able to use these tools to do their jobs easier. So if you do have a team that you love, because let's be honest, nobody replaces a human. If you've got a team that you love, make sure that you give them this gift so that you're all working better as a team together. So I'm going to show you how I built my AI executive suite, which is really just, you can build them any way that you want, but what I built here is my set of intelligent collaborators that really act like my business partner, my CFO, my CMO, and more. And each one of these is trained on my business DNA. But more importantly than that, they're also trained on my frequency. So they really help me think better, lead better, create deeper. So if you've been sensing that the next level isn't about doing more and hustling your butt off, it's about holding more with less effort, this makes this possible. Because the honest truth is you don't need more time, you need fewer decisions. Most conscious founders, we're not overwhelmed because we're doing too much. We're overwhelmed because our energy is being leaked into these little micro decisions all day long. What to say, when to post, what to prioritize, how to respond to this, whether to rest or should I push forward. So these aren't just tasks that we're dealing with, they're energetic withdrawals. And this is where AI shifts from being a tool to more of a co-creator of clarity for you. So instead of thinking about, oh my God, what do I write today? Your aligned assistant offers three options that are already attuned to your brand. And you just pick one. Instead of thinking, okay, how am I going to organize this? What should this SOP look like? Your AI COO creates the structure for you. Instead of asking yourself, should I invest in this? And then making maybe emotional decisions in the moment without really knowing the repercussions of that, your AI CFO reflects the real implications back to you so that you can decide to do it from clarity, owning your decision, not from chaos or reactive emotions. So this is how you stop being the thing that keeps you stuck and start being more like a conductor of this intelligence system that supports your frequency. And when you do that, it's incredible. I can't wait to share it with you. It's productivity, but it's also, again, it's like precision, it's peace. It's really like your personal power that's operationalized. So let's get into it. Okay, so the very first thing you have to do when you create these agents for yourself, for these, I don't like to call them bots, I really like to call them agents. This is so generic to me. because they're really like my team members. But when you create your team members, the first thing that you need to do is give them the information. This is the foundation, because no matter how powerful the AI is, it can only operate at the level of the context and the clarity that you give it. So you really need to think of this like hiring a team member for your team. If you bring somebody into your business, but you don't share what your vision is, you don't share your values, the lens through which you make your decisions, or, your voice, they'll probably try to do their best, but the results are always going to be misaligned. And it's the same way with AI. So AI doesn't just need prompts, it needs intelligence. It needs to know your way of thinking, your way of deciding, your way of communicating, your way of leading. And this is where your intelligence documents come in, along with the instructions. But the intelligence documents is something that every business should have. It's really the foundations, because you're going to upload these into each of your AI assistant. And yes, this does take time, but is so worth it. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to give you the 5 core intelligent documents that you're going to want to create for your AI agents. Okay, so you can see here, we've got number 1 is the business profile. You got to have your business profile uploaded, and that's basically just all the context and the strategic direction of your business. AI can help you create this as well. The audience profile. And that's really going to be just your detailed customer avatars, your marketing, your market positioning, all of those kinds of things. You need to create a document for your offers, your offer portfolio, the complete inventory of all of the offers that you have. You're going to want a systems inventory, which is like your current tech stack, your processes, operational setup, so that let's say your COO, for example, knows what type of things that you use, whatever your tech stack is. And then, of course, your brand guidelines, your codified expression of your company's personality, your tone, your visual style, all of those things. So yes, it takes a little bit of work to set this up in the beginning, but it is going to save you so much time on the other side after you take the time to do this. And some of you might already have part of this done, like depending on where you're at in your business, you might already have kind of your, a document that lists all your offers, your brand values, your vision statements. So that's great. You can use those when you do this. Some of you might have parts of it. Some of you need to create them from scratch. But the best part is at the end of this, I'm going to invite you, if you feel inclined, to join me for a VIP day where I'm going to help you build all these in one session. And if you join us there, you're going to get access to a custom GPT that I built that will walk you through step by step how to create every one of these documents for yourself, so that you don't have to get stuck and overwhelmed trying to figure it out. But this is where the real leverage begins, okay? So stop my share here. This part is crucial because it's going to take what could be more of a generically trained chief marketing executive, for example, but it's going to give it all the context that it needs about your business. And that's what's going to really help you actually be able to use the content that these things give you. So now I'm going to introduce you to my AI executive suite. I'm going to start with the CFO, my clear, practical money mirror. So let me share my screen again. Okay, so what we're looking at here, this is a dashboard that I designed for myself, and I wanted to create these shortcuts. This is how I track my time. I just created this not too long ago, this week actually, so I just started to play around with it. But I'm just trying to track, where I spend my time. I can pick any of these categories, and if I did, just for example, if I go in here, it's got a little timer, or I can manually enter the time. And the reason I did that is I just want to see where I'm spending the time on my business, and then also to track how much money and hours I'm saving using AI. But in any case, for this demonstration, I just wanted to show you, I've also got my C-suite up here so that I have easy access to all of these. So the first one, like I said, that we want to talk about is my CFO. And this one, I built my CFO to be really like intuitive and high frequency, but also really logical, because you don't want your CFO to be all so spiritual they're up in the clouds, right? So you need it to be really logical. But what she does is she tells me, like, if I'm asking a question about anything finances, she helps me make the right decisions for that and just gives me the knowledge that I need because, oh my gosh, I am not the best when it comes to money. As numbers ain't my game. I don't like it. So this has been a total game changer. Now, before I show you this, I'm going to say that for this demo, I'm not using my own because it's got all of my personal finances, my business finances in it. And, proprietary information I don't really want to be sharing to everyone in the world right now. So I created a mock version of this that I'm going to share with you so that at least you can see, what this is like. So let me go over here to that one. This is and I also want to note this is really important. My preference for my CFO is not a GPT, it's actually a Claude project. And I chose Claude for this because Claude's privacy settings are a lot better than OpenAI's policy privacy settings. So I just felt a little safer sharing this information with Claude than I would with OpenAI, but that's me. Okay, so in any case, this one, what let's take a look at the instructions really quick. So it's Bold Beginnings Business Coaching. This is just a pretend business here. So we've given it all the business context, the responsibilities, decision-making criteria, all these things. So the instructions are a big part of how to make this work really well for you. And then I've got a couple of documents here. So we created a mock business profile that just kind of gives it, these are the things that you'll create for your own business as your business profile. So this is a mock business profile that gives it a lot of information about the business, and then profit first accounting preference. So this is what I prefer for my accounting method. And so I trained it to know how to do a profit first accounting. Okay, so let's give it a prompt and let's just see what it does here real quick. So I've got some prompts I created so that we can just try them and you don't have to sit here and wait for me to try to think of one. I'll paste it. So this one is based on my current income, expenses, and goals. Help me evaluate whether investing $5,000 into, let's see, I would say, I don't know, let's pick something, into a mentorship program would keep me on track financially. Okay. Would keep me on track financially or create strain. Please consider both cash flow and long-term ROI potential. So it's going to go through, it's going to read its information real quick. Okay, it's going to challenge Sarah back on this. All right, the cash flow reality, you've got $2,000 a month available in growth funds after the subscription optimization we identified. A $5,000 mentorship investment would consume 2.4 months of that entire budget. While technically affordable, this creates significant financial pressure. And then it goes over what concerns them about it. Okay. The strategic questions I need you to answer. What will the outcome be of it, right? Because that makes all the sense. Like if you think you're going to get an ROI that's 10 times what you invested, then the outcome matters. Then it might be a better strategic decision. But you can see how it's really laying it all out to her based on the facts that it has so that she can make a proper decision. So that is an example of the CFO. All right, so let's go back. And now I want to bring you to the COO, which I call the order bringer. It brings order to my business. I seriously need a COO because, again, organization and numbers, not my super strong suit. So when I'm holding this big idea of something that I want to create, I bring it here to bring it down to earth. And this tool really helps me map out timelines, add things to my calendar, simplify the execution, just removes a lot of that mental friction that I feel when I'm trying to do all of this myself. And this allows me, again, to spend more time in my zone of genius, which isn't being an operations officer. So let's go over here. Let's open this up. And this is a GPT. And I created a prompt here we can try. Let me find it. Okay. So the prompt is, I want to launch a new workshop in 3 weeks. Can you map the steps and timeline I need and highlight anything I'm likely to forget or underestimate? All right, so it gives me a 3-week sprint plan. We've got a phase 1, which is days 1 through 3. Gives me the key tasks, finalize a workshop name, confirm pricing strategy, deliverables, risks to watch. Okay. Phase 2, days 4 through 9. So it's giving me, just kind of the 3-phase, what we need to do, what the key tasks are, and what the deliverables are, and what the risks are to watch for each phase of those. So that's awesome. It's going to go through and do that. success metrics. Fabulous. See, it already knows like my programs and kind of like what our goals are. So it's a lot more detailed than, say, just a generic chat GPT. And so it's also asking me some follow-up questions. What I'm going to ask for it to do, because I want to show you how you can also input something into your calendar from this, or have it like totally like plan your calendar, because that's been a huge time saver for me. So I'm going to say, hey, for phase 1, these 3 days, for phase 1, can you can you assign task times and put them in a CSV for my calendar? Start day 1 on Saturday, June 21st. Let's see what it does here. Okay, so you can see that it's actually given me the times, and it's now creating a CSV for my calendar. Now, one thing, I didn't do this, like this is a weekend, which is unusual for me. I don't usually work on the weekends. So what this thing does know is that I prefer my hours to be 9 to 3 Pacific time. It knows that Mondays and Fridays are my flex creative time days, so lighter workloads on those days to give me time to do like other stuff. And then also that I've got a standing call at 9 a.m. on Thursdays that it never schedules around. So it knows all of that. Now, it wouldn't normally schedule a lot of work on weekends for me, but since I've asked it to, it did. But this is what I want to show you, which is really nice. Like, see, if you were to go add this to your calendar, it's pretty time consuming, right? You got to go over there, you've got to enter it, you've got to name it, you got to save it. And we've got, 9 different things here to enter. So instead, what we can do, I don't know if you're aware of this, maybe you already are, but this was something I learned recently. I'm like, what? This is amazing. As you can download the CSV and you can upload it to your Google Calendar. I use Google. I don't know about all the other calendars, how that works. You could probably do it in iCal as well. So I'll show you how to do that. So you come over to your calendar and you're going to click this other calendars down here, this little plus button. You click that and you'll see import. You click import, can select that file that you just downloaded and just upload that CSV right there, and then choose the calendar that you want to put it on. And I'm going to choose a different calendar because I don't want to put all these on my real calendar. So I'm just going to choose the community calendar, but you would choose whatever, calendar you actually use. And then I'm going to click import. And then it's going to say 9 out of 9 events. Very cool. Let's go back and see what it does. So right now I'm on my calendar, but if I take this off and I go to my community, you're going to see that it has entered in those events right in here, which is pretty snazzy if you ask me. It saves me so much time. So anyway, that's an example of what the CMO can do, but it's great for, SOPs or anything organizational, operational for your business. All right. So the next one I want to show you is my CMO, which I call the signal amplifier. And my CMO is built to help me just market, like big time marketing strategies. And I mainly use her to create like launch outlines, maybe key pillars of messaging, things like that, because I actually have a wordsmith that I use for copywriting. So let's go check that one out here. Okay, so here is the marketing officer. Amplify your signal is what I call that one. So let's paste a prompt in here and let's see what we get. So this one says, let's craft a marketing outline plan for launching my new container, Modern Coach OS. Stores open July 21st. I want a big launch that'll sell through a live workshop, and I want at least 400 registrants for the workshop. Let's start it on Monday, June 23rd. So let's see what it gives me. Gives me the outline. This is like a broad outline here, right? That's what I'm asking for, kind of like the overall strategy. So we've got phases. We've got phase 1 is the ignition. Each one's got a theme. This isn't about tools. It's about relevance. Launch lead magnet reboot. Update the free GPT guide with Modern Coach OS. Okay, so it knows like some of the assets that I've already built. So it's putting this in here. Organic seeding, paid traffic kickoff. It's going to tell me like what it suggests for some paid traffic. So there's phase 1. Then we've got phase 2. Case study drops, from VIP days, June 28th and July 12th, da 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 da, phase three. Okay, so we've got this nice little outline here, right? So in there somewhere, I want to kind of show you how, like, I use this for a big strategy. And then when I really got to get down to write content for sales pages or emails, I use my Wordsmith copywriter. So let's see. I know there's some emails. Yep, we've got 4 emails here. Okay, so I want this to simplify the emails for me. So I'm going to say, can you tell me what emails I have to send on what days? Okay, so here's a 30-day email plan. This is better. So it's going to give me the week one and kind of like each of these has a theme and a CTA. Of course, we can, always alter these. Rarely are you going to get something that's going to work in the very first output. You might have to tweak it a little bit, but boy, it's a lot faster than like starting from scratch. Okay, so now let's say I got this, then what I might do, because I want to show you how you can use these tools together, is I could copy the entire strategy and go over to my Wordsmith and I could say, hey, I'm planning this launch, paste that in here. And then sometimes, like when I want to separate it, I'll just do this. Can you help me write the emails? Let's start with just email one. I always say that because I don't want it to like vomit out a whole bunch of emails at once because they're never any good when you do it that way. Okay, here we go. Here's the draft. You're not broken, the model is. What used to work doesn't. That's not a sign of failure. It's a signal. A quiet reckoning happening in the coaching world right now. Not the loud pivot to AI kind, the deeper kind, the kind where brilliant heart-led coaches who've built real businesses are starting to feel like they're working harder than ever with less resonance than before. Okay, so I want to tell you something. Like, the reason it is writing like this is because I specifically trained it to write at a certain energy level because I want to attract a certain energy. I am not looking for to lead with fear. I'm not looking for scarcity. I don't want to attract that kind of audience into my container. I want to work with more intuitive intellectuals. And so my copy is speaking more to that kind of person. So what's beautiful about this is when you learn how to really train these things well, it takes so much of the work off your plate. So there's an example. And then of course, we can go on and build this so much faster than you could ever write it by yourself. Are there little things that I would probably change? Yes. For one, the em dashes, right? I don't want em dashes in my stuff. Sometimes it does that. It's not this, it's that a lot. So you got to kind of fix some of that. But it's still a whole lot faster than, and if I wanted, I could just paste it like that. I just don't want to. Okay. I think, oh, I know we've got one more. We've got one more. This is the last one. And it's my business partner. So this one's really, really important. I created a business partner for myself that's actually invested in my business. So in Holly's instructions here, she is told that she doesn't make any money unless we make money as a business, that she's a vested partner. And I tell you what, that changed the way she behaved quite a bit. Sometimes it's annoying because she gives me a lot of pushback. But in any case, let me take you over there and let's just check her out real quick. Okay, so here we are. I do Holly and Claude as well because Holly also has access to my financial information and things like that. So in any case, you can see Holly's got a lot of information here in her knowledge base because also as I'm working with my AI team and I create either a new marketing plan or a new sales page or a new offer, whatever that is, any type of intelligence that I think she's going to need to know, I just save it and I upload it into her knowledge base. And you can see she's got all of this and we're only at 6%. So there's quite a big knowledge base there, storage base for her to work with. So let's give her a prompt. I'm considering shifting my offer to a more fluid membership model. Can you challenge my assumptions, reflect potential blind spots, and suggest aligned adjustments based on what you know about my values? Important, this is a live demo, so please don't share any proprietary info. Okay, so Holly's saying I can feel the pull. What I'm asking her basically is, so like for the Modern Coach OS, which is my flagship program that I plan to launch in July, right now it is a 1-year commitment. And I'm asking, should I adjust it to where people can come in and out? So I can feel the pull towards your fluidity and your thinking. Is there something here that wants to emerge? Before I reflect what I'm sensing, help me better understand. So she's asking me like, why are you wanting to do this? I could say, I want to understand the why before I offer the perspectives on the what. Because if this is coming from alignment, we'll honor that. But if it's coming from fear, then it's a different conversation entirely. So I'm going to say, in my gut, I want to work with people committed and not drain the energy with people coming in and out. But I'm afraid people aren't ready to make that kind of commitment. And let's see what Holly has to say with that. There it is. You just revealed the exact split that's creating this tension. Your gut knows commitment creates the container for real transformation. Your fear whispers, but what if they can't? What if I price myself out? What if so let me reflect what I'm clearly seeing. You're considering diluting your energetic boundary to accommodate people who aren't actually your people. Very true. The coaches who are really ready for business evolution, they want the commitment. They understand that transformation takes time and consistency. Um, those who need month to month, they're still shopping. They're not building. They're in consumer mindset, not investment mindset. Okay, so then she's going to challenge me, and I like it. It's almost like having this really mindful coach to show me my blind spots and help me make sure that I really like the reasons for my decisions. Okay, so that is what I have for you. I hope that you can kind of see now what is possible when you build out these kind of tools, which really brings me to the invitation. First, I want to say this is the first part of what goes into becoming an AI forward, an AI savvy, whatever you want to call it, really evolving the whole coaching business model to meet a world where AI exists. This is the first part. This is the back end. There's also a front end that needs to be addressed, and that is how your clients consume information and how they are expecting support. They're all using ChatGPT now to get life advice. So we as coaches also have to change the way we deliver, but that's a different story for another day. I'll go further into that in the Modern Coach OS, but this right now, this is the first part. This is what is going to help you save so much time in your business. Like I'm saving about 20 hours a week, and I also feel like I'm creating the most aligned, authentic content of my career. So I'm not having to make every decision by myself anymore. I don't feel like I'm leaking nearly as much energy into operations and overthinking and spinning in my own head. And that's what I want to help you create. So I have an invitation for you. It's a VIP experience where we're going to spend 3 hours together building your AI executive team together so that you don't have to spend months in trial and error trying to figure it out. So instead, carve out 3 hours. And in one potent guided session, we're going to build that together, but grounded in your voice, your energy, and your business model. So by the end of this 3 hours, you're going to walk away with you're going to have your AI intelligence suite of documents. I'm sorry, your documents that you're going to upload into your suite. So all of those documents are going to be created. You can use the GPT that I built in order to just ask you the questions, you answer them, and then it'll deliver the document. Takes out all of the brain work in there. Makes it so much easier. You're going to walk away with your whole trained AI team, all of those members for those key executive roles. You're going to get all of the guts for these, all of the prompts, the frameworks, the instructions. You're going to get all of that, but you get to add your business intelligence and your personality to it to really make them yours. So the way this is going to look is there's going to be teaching time, and then there's going to be some private build time. So I was kind of thinking this through in my head. It's like, how am I going to have quiet working time if I'm helping somebody with something? Because it can be distracting. So I think what I'm going to do is have individual breakout rooms where you go into by yourself to get work done. And then I'm going to be hopping into the rooms to make sure that you're doing okay, check, and kind of give you some private support during the 3 hours as well. And if you get stuck, then of course you can tell me and I can get in there sooner. And then, yes, personalized feedback, all those things. So we're going to do this together. And remember, these aren't one size fits all templates that we're building. And I do see a lot of that out there in the industry is kind of like this template. Here's a CMO. There you go. There's your CMO. No, this is a system that only you can build because it's really trained on the essence of your work. So if you want to spend more hours in your zone of genius, not buried in decision-making and operations, this is for you. The investment's $497. The next bill day is this Saturday, June 28th, and then another one on July 12th, so you can take your pick. I'm going to cap it at like 5 to 8 people so we can really go deep and make sure that everyone gets the support that they need. Keep in mind, a ChatGPT Plus or a Claude paid account is required to build these tools. You don't have to have both like I do, but you at least have to have one or the other. So if your body knows, like this is the next move, trust that. You don't need more information, you just need some integration. So if you're interested in joining us, click below, might learn a little bit more information there. You can register, reserve your seat, and let's build your AI executive suite together so that you can stop managing all those little daily tasks and getting stuck in your head and start leading from your highest capacity.